Hey everyone, my name is Anna. I'm a marketing manager at USCAN, and I'm so happy to join today's Lunch and Learn session along with Alex Orab, founder and chief of growth at USCAN. So nice to see everyone here.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, thanks for finding the time to join the session today.
Yeah, so now I'll be sharing the screen, and please let me know if you see our presentation.
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah, so great. So today we'll be talking about social media listening and why it is important, why it matters, and what challenges it can help to solve. I'm really encouraging you to ask any questions if you have. We'd be happy to discuss with you. So please don't be shy. Don't hesitate to put them in the chat or join our discussion after this presentation. What's on our agenda for today? First, we will cover the basics. We will talk about social media listening. What is it? Why it is important? And next, we will dive into some challenges that social media listening helps to solve. It helps to analyze. After that, we will show you the live demo of USCAN tool and tell you a bit more about USCAN. And we will wrap up, of course, with Q&A session. So yeah, looking forward to your questions. Happy to answer them after our presentation. What is social media listening? So basically, it is a process of tracking and analyzing mentions publicly available online on different platforms, popular networks like Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram, TikTok, and many more, with main purpose to understand what people are saying, how they are feeling about brand, about some services, products, what are their interests, and we can also, using this advanced research method, understand their moods and some shifts in sentiments, in their needs, and to use this data to make informed decisions, to improve our products, services, and to make some recommendations for departments like marketing, also product and research, customer success team, PR team, and many, many more. So this tool and this research method is very convenient and easy to use for a bunch of use cases. So shortly, with social media listening, you can understand everything what's going on online and publicly is available. Why social media listening matters? So first of all, you have access to real-time data, so you can understand what people are talking like just this time, and also you can analyze historical data. So compared to other traditional research methods like focus groups or interviews, with social listening, there is no need to wait a lot of time to analyze and process the data. You can you have actually the access to this data right now, and it's ready for being analyzed. Second, it is access to hard to reach audiences and groups of people, because with social listening, you do not need to travel, you do not need to make some phone calls. You can just be super comfortable in your office or in your home and understand what people are talking about in different locations, like worldwide. And the third reason why social listening is important and is a very good research method, it's flexibility. Despite the mountains of data analyzed. Social listening tools are very convenient and user-friendly, and they also are very flexible. So you can just start your monitoring topic, and on the way of your research, if you have some ideas or some hypotheses, you can tweak it as you wish, and you can add some like additional keywords, for example, to extend your research or to be more targeted, to be more precise, and, for example, analyze not only like worldwide chatter about something, but to be targeted for a specific location. And next, let's dive into top social listening use cases and some challenges. Actually, if we if we talk about social listening challenges, I think that we have we need additional 2 or 3 hours to explain and explore them all. So we are short in time, and I just want to highlight the top 6 of them. And the first one is tracking brand's health. So it basically means like a regular checkup for your brand to understand the volume of mentions, the volume of engagements, what are your users, consumers' concerns or opinions, what do they like, and what characteristics they find like not very good, and you need to improve it. So it's like a medical checkup for human, but for your brand. The next one is managing brand's reputation. It's also a very popular use case and important challenge, because with social listening, you actually in real time can understand the sentiment towards your brand or services, and address any potential issues, any crisis situations, and be super proactive, and make informed decisions, and also make recommendations for other departments, for other teams, for them to be like proactive and super responsive. The next one is discovering market insights. This one is very informative for these brands and companies who are trying, for example, to launch a new product or test some hypothesis, and they need to understand what's happening in the industry. So it's like a common misunderstanding that social listening is only suitable for brands tracking, but it's not entirely true. You can actually research the industry, research popular topics, and prove and test your hypothesis. So the next use case is understanding the competition. With social listening tools, it's super easy to see how people feel about your competitors, about competitive field, and understand where they perform better and what you can improve to stay ahead. Next is finding key influencers. So thanks to capabilities of analyzing interests, demographics of audience, it's easy to understand who they trust, who they follow, and which influencers are like relevant for the audience, and you can collaborate with them and share the message, share the word about your brand. And the last but not the least is spotting trends and some breaking news, some like popular and viral discussions. So we all know that social media is a place where a bunch of viral posts are exploding, and social listening is the best tool to keep an eye on it, and to use such trends and news breaks for like your advantage, and to stay ahead of competition. Yeah, and next we will tell you a bit about UScan, and now I will pass the mic to Alex Orab.
Yeah, thanks, Anna. Next slide, please. So we've built UScan to help market researchers to make sense of this vast and unstructured and noisy social data. YouScan is a social media listening tool that uses a lot of AI under the hood to analyze texts, images, and audiences. So in terms of data sources, YouScan covers a lot of them. All the major social media sites, including Twitter, X, TikTok, Reddit, Instagram, YouTube, and others. We pull huge amounts of public data from social media daily. It's 800 million data points that we collect and analyze with AI and turn them into actionable insights and reports that are easy to navigate, easy to use to get this consumer insights from this data. And Anna will show them to you in a second. We work with many global customers, regional customers in different markets in Europe, in the UK, in the US, in Latin America, and we are really happy and proud to be getting great reviews for our product on sites like G2, where people leave their reviews about software tools, and we have been named the leader in social listening and analytics tools for this winter and for previous periods as well. Anna, if you switch to the next slide, please. So when we explain how YouScan helps you to listen to social media and understand your consumers, we focus on three things. So with YouScan, you can get deep consumer insights and understand who these consumers are, what they do, and what they say. And here we mean like three key areas of YouScan functionality. So first, what they say. We mean understanding what people discuss on social media, what they say about brands, products, events, what their sentiments are, what are the trends that they're discussing, what are the preferences. Then YouScan can analyze not only texts, but images. So for example, YouScan finds images where the brand logo is present, even if the brand is not mentioned in the text of the post. And then we analyze like visual contents, like scenes, objects, other brand logos, like even dominant colors and stuff like that, and build reports for visual content. So this really helps you to understand like what consumers do and how they interact with brands and products in real life visually. And then who they are. YouScan has audience analysis capabilities, so you can get a lot of insights about the audience, like who are the people that discuss brand, like what are their demographics, what are their professions, what they're interested in. Yeah, so that covers like three main sections of insights that YouScan helps to get with AI from social data.
Okay, so now I'm happy to show you the live demonstration of YouScan. So yeah, here we are at the mention stream. So here is the place when you can see the all mention YouScan has collected. And for this demo, for this example, we will take a look into the online charter of Corona beer, a famous Mexican brand of beer. Yeah, and before we dive in, let me briefly show you how actually YouScan collects the data. So everything starts with creation of a search query. Here we use Boolean logic and different operators to collect everything we need in our topic. So simply speaking, here are the words that helps YouScan understand what we are looking for. And also we selected the country here, United States, which means that YouScan will collect the data targeting this country, but USCAN coverage is not limited for geography and language, so you can be flexible here and analyze any geography or language. So yeah, getting back to the mention stream, on the top right, we have calendar, which allows us to dive deeper into different time frames. For instance, like we can take a look at like weekly mentions, or even take a look at the mentions from the past year. Also, we have filters here. It is a super important capability at USCAN, which allows you to navigate through different sets of data. So USCAN automatically detects sentiment of mentions, and using filters, we can, for instance, select to show only positive or negative mentions, and our mention stream will adopt for our filtering options. Also, among filters, we have auto categories. We'll know that social media is very full of some noisy mentions, and this feature allows us to cut through the noise. And for example, we can select word of mouth, which means that we will take a look and we will analyze only genuine user-generated content, which includes different opinions, complaints, questions, comparisons. So if we would like to exclude any commercial posts and any noise, it's cool option to analyze only user-generated mentions. Also, at this side of the screen, we have a purple button for our Insights Copilot. It's our AI agent. Let me zoom out. Yeah. So it's our AI agent, which allows you to analyze data like hundreds and thousands of mentions just in a couple of seconds. So we have like a preset list of use cases and questions. We can just simply click on some use case, for example, and Insights Copilot will automatically analyze like some pain points of customers or influencers' opinions. Or like other way of using Insights Copilot is just chatting with it like you do with ChatGPT. So let's ask, for example, why do people like Corona beer? So what's interesting here, you do not need to spend a lot of time manually extracting insights. You can just chat with it, and Insights Copilot will show the list of like bullet points, and it will save you a huge amount of time. And the processing time is depending on the volume of mentions Insights Copilot need to proceed, and it depends on the complexity of your request. So it's just need a couple of seconds to analyze everything. Yeah, and also you can chat with it not only in English, it supports a different language. You just need to hit this, just to select these settings here, and it will be ready for you in any language. So yeah, just a couple of seconds. And yeah, here we have a list of bullet points. Why do people love Corona beer? So it's associated with social gatherings, refreshing taste, like also people love brands campaigns, marketing campaigns. And what is interesting here, our Insights Copilot supports its responses with examples of mentions, because like such type of models, we need to like be sure that its answers are like relevant for us. So we support our bullet points with examples, and this way we sure that they are like real and not a glitch, for example. Yeah, and let's move to the left side of the screen. Here we have sections, inside sections, and first one is general analytics. So here we have all the basics, all the essentials for our topic of monitoring. Here you can see the timeline, and please take a look at these different bubbles. So the green ones, so these bubbles are basically you scans AI detection of popular and trending topics. So by hovering them, you can have like more complex understanding of what's going on, and the green ones highlight positive discussions, and negative ones are about negative ones. Yeah, also here we have a geography map, and you can zoom in and precisely see what's happening between different states in our case. And also you can show the statistics not only by mentions but also by engagement, and then you can compare these data sets and understand what perform good, and which mentions had a lot of engagement. And moving on to the sentiment tab, we have the timeline for sentiment, and all these graphs are interactive. So you can, for example, hide the neutral sentiment, and you will show the distribution of positives and negatives. Also here we have the sources tab with all the top sources mentioned in our topic, and of course sentiment by source, and you can like exclude neutral mentions to see which source is like more negatively oriented. Yeah, and moving on to the next section, it is visual insights. So as Alex mentioned, you can analyze not only textual data but also visual. For instance, in this mention, we do not have corona like mentioned in the text, but you can collect it because we can see the corona logo here on the left corner. Yeah, so such analytics highlights popular scenes, activities, objects, and other logos that are present along with your brand. So it's convenient for researchers who are interested in visual analytics. The next section is audience insights, and here we have everything to understand who our audience are, their demographics, like gender distribution, age distribution, and also their interests and occupations. And one of our latest releases, it's Conversation Insights. So this section of our tool helps you better understand what's happening within the topic and which words or phrases frequently group together and frequently appear together. So for example, let's choose, let's select only user mentions. And yeah, if we press this button, our colors will change. And here we can see, for instance, let's take a look at yellow bubbles. So here we have Corona beer, Mexican restaurant, excellent service, great place, Mexican food. And it means that users often go to the Mexican restaurants and they order Corona beer with tasty food, and they mentioned it, and we have some cultural snapshot here, so it's very interesting for some cultural research and insights. Also, at this section, we have a potential crisis list. So you can automatically flags which discussions are maybe potentially spark some crisis. And at this point, we can activate our Insights Copilot. And so let's ask Insights Copilot what's happening by pressing inequality here. And you can see that this simple action launched the Insights Copilot, and just in a couple of seconds, it will show us are there any potential like crisis situation and some topics that brands should be aware of. Yes, and so here we see some topics about racism and cultural insensitivity associated with U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer's comments about avocados and Corona beer. So what happened at early February, U.S. Senator made some comments about potentially increasing tariffs in Mexico. And to support his point, he showed a Corona can bottle and an avocado. So this action and his words provoked and faced a bunch of negative mentions. And people were concerned and felt insulted even of these words, because they are like highlighted some stereotypes about Mexico. And if we go back to our conversation insights and go to trends, let's choose negative sentiment, and we can see these posts about the statement of a U.S. senator, and yeah, people were worried about his words, which were considered inappropriate by people online. Yeah, and I think that's it for me. It's super challenging to fit everything useful about UScan in just these 15 minutes, and I hope that it was useful. And if you have any questions, would be super happy to chat with you and to discuss everything.
Brilliant. I know it's really, really hard to fit it all in, so I would encourage everyone to carry on chatting to Alex and Anna after this session as well. But we do have a few questions coming in on the chat. I'll just read them in case you can't see them. So one from Mike, is the Copilot example using Microsoft, or is this a general term for the UScan system?
Yeah, I answered this already, but I can quickly repeat. Ours is called Insights Copilot, not related to Microsoft, because it helps you to get quick insights from social data, basically.
Thank you. Yes, I've seen your response. Okay, another one from Kevin. Can you separate actual users versus someone promoting an event? I suppose end consumers versus intermediaries or agents.
Yeah, it's a very good question. So we have an automatic filter in the system that helps you to segment the data automatically. It's based on our like in-house built algorithms. So it's called word of mouth basically, and it helps you separate, genuine consumer discussions from promotional activities, from commercial content. It's not like 100% reliable, but it does a pretty good job in segmenting the data, which is like the most interesting for insights, which is like genuine consumer conversations.
Thank you. One from Sally. How are demographics linked to people's comments? And are there any weaknesses in demographic data, e.g. hard to tell people's ages?
Yeah, that's a good question. So demographics data is not always possible to infer from public profiles. Sometimes it's contained in the profile, sometimes it's not. So it's a subset of the data, and accordingly, the audience for which you scan and other social listening tools basically can detect age and other demographic parameters.
I can see you've responded to some, so I hope I'm not missing out. I'll send you the chat as well afterwards. But Ruth, does UScan work in African markets?
Sorry, African markets you mentioned?
African markets.
Yeah, absolutely. So we cover like pretty much global social media landscape. We don't cover some, let's say, Asian, Chinese social media. We don't cover that. But in African markets, I think there are the same social platforms that are popular, like Instagram, Twitter, and others. So it's fully applicable. There is a question of like regional languages. For some, we may have a better capabilities for detecting sentiment, for example. For some, it may be less reliable, perhaps, but in general, it works for African markets. And you can work with Insights Copilot that Anna showcased and ask it questions, and in more than 100 languages, actually.
Two more questions, and then we'll have to wrap it up, unfortunately. Which social media platforms are most useful, and do you include Blue Sky in that?
Great question. So we have recently added Blue Sky coverage. So now we have full firehouse of Blue Sky data. It's super interesting because it's not yet, there are not so many bots there, and a lot of content is really genuine, and there are like real users, talking on Blue Sky. So yeah, we cover that. We also find Reddit data especially useful for market research purposes, for consumer insights. Twitter, not so much useful these days, I think, but still you can get a lot of data from there. So yeah, that I think is the
Thank
answer.
you. Last question for now. How accurate is the logo recognition for smaller brands? Is it possible to train the algorithm?
Yes, absolutely. We have a big database of algorithms that have been trained already in our image recognition engine, and we can easily add new logos if needed. So yeah, it's very scalable for smaller brands as well.
Brilliant. So thank you. Thank you particularly to Alex and Anna, and to everybody who has come. Sylvia's just saying, do you have a special price for ICG members, or would you consider it? Let's talk further about that. I will circulate the recording to everyone, and yes, I hope you found that really useful. So thank you so much, both of you, for presenting today.
Thank you for joining this session.
Thank you very much. Great questions. Our pleasure. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.